Erima, what are you doing on that YouTube? Eh?
Channel. So for today I'm doing a Greek life Q&A. I asked you guys to submit some questions in on Curious Cat, so hopefully I answer all you guys questions. Well, hopefully we answer all you guys questions, so that way when the school semester starts you guys kind of get a feel of what to look forward to when looking into Greek life and D9 and all that. So of course I could not do this video by myself. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to. I do have someone here with me, so introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Lauren. I crossed Spring 14 at SFA into the Theta Gamma chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
You guys already know me. I crossed Spring 16 Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Alright, so I am going to pull up some of the questions that you guys had asked on Curious Cat, and then we're going to jump straight into some other questions or just some other things I feel like should be touched on when it comes to Greek life. So the first question that was asked was, how do I go about showing interest in the sorority I want to join without being so hot about it? And if I don't personally know anyone within the sorority, how do I convey my interest? So I would definitely say, like, when you're trying to show interest in a sorority, start attending their events. If they have events on campus, go to those things. Like,
well, the first thing I did was speak to my aunt, because she's a Delta and she's been one for quite some time. So I kind of had to ask her, what should I say and what are the wrong and right things to say? And like you said, go to all their events, because the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is never show up to anything but the interest meeting.
Exactly.
And the members are looking at you like, okay, where have you been? Because I saw you on campus, but I never saw you
at our stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say you're someone who, because maybe some organizations might do events that you're probably not too fond of on campus. Okay, some of them do like community service events. Some people do like just other little things. They do stuff where they're going to like homeless shelters around the community. So anything where you can really show your face and your presence, and you want to make sure while you're doing this, like, leave an impression. I don't want to talk to nobody born, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want, if you're joining my org, like, I want you to be kind of lively. And I know for some people, everybody's not like that, but like, show some personality. So with wanting to join as well, there are certain requirements that you do have to meet.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And those requirements are your grades. So some people require, the minimum is always 2.5, but some people shoot for 2.7. If your GPA is not those, don't even think about Greek life.
Ours is a 2.75, I think. Don't quote me on that. It is higher than some other orgs, and also you have to maintain that GPA once you get in there, or you're not allowed to participate in the activities of that chapter. So
for that semester.
Yeah, so if you want to be, and really, I feel like you should have a 3.0 if you're Greek, because you're set to a higher standard. So, I mean, you might as well shoot for an A and everything.
Yeah, don't let your grades slip, because it's gonna suck, especially if you joined and your GPA was good and then it went down the drain because of Greek life, and then you have to sit out that semester after. Don't be that person, because you're gonna be so salty. You don't even get to use your juice. You don't even get to use your Neo juice. How can I join a D9 Greek when I don't know if they are on my line at school?
Maybe they're saying on my campus.
What would be your answer to
Well,
that?
if they're not on your campus, unfortunately, you can't join legally.
Yeah, legally you really can't join. Like,
yeah, you should go to your Greek center if you're not sure if they're on your campus, and talk to whomever's in there and ask if they're on the campus. They'll know all the chapters there. If they're not, like I said, join an alumni chapter if you have the opportunity. If they are, I would say speak to the president of that organization. A lot of times the people in the Greek Center will have that contact if they're able to give that to you. Give them an email or shoot them a text if you can, and just let them know that you're interested.
I know, like, some issues that some people might have concern, like people, like the organization might come back to the campus or whatever. Like, let's say you started your freshman year, you're interested in that org, like there's a possibility they might come back. So I'm not saying like wait around, but if you just feel like, okay, you're kind of comfortable where you're at, look more into it on campus. So like Lauren said, like, you know, every school should have like a Greek center where you can go to someone who's over that, like all the organizations in D9. So our advisor, like, he was really, really cool. Like, we could go to him about anything under the sun. So
Shout out Seville.
shout out to Seville because yeah, Seville, like, he was literally the best like Greek council advisor. So
You can like speak to one of the members after an event, because I know some people contacted me on social media and was like, I never got the opportunity to speak to you.
yeah.
And I never saw you on campus. And I guess when we had classes, they weren't coinciding. So if you feel like you can't reach them, you can see them at the end of an event. I mean, obviously, if you're going to that event, you might just be interested, but don't make it too obvious that you're pulling them away from the crowd.
Yeah, because if I feel like, hey,
Come over here.
yeah, that's obvious. Don't do that, because of course now everybody's gonna see, like, and of course if you're attending an event, other people have their eyes on the people, the organization who's throwing the event. People have their eyes on them, so you don't want to be that person like pulling them over to the side, and then it looks like y'all having a top secret meeting, because then we already know what's up, you know.
On top of that, I want to say, don't just go to the org that you're interested in. Don't just go to their events, because there might be educational stuff in other people's events. So if you feel like you're going to learn something, don't just say, oh, well, the Deltas aren't throwing it, so I'm not going. Go there and educate yourself. That's what you're in school for anyway. So
Yeah, I like that you brought that up too.
Thank you.
Because, you know, because for some people like to be biased and be like, oh, the K's not doing this, oh, the Delta's not, the Zeta's not doing this, so I'm not going to go to it. But it's like, at the end of the day, that some of that stuff don't really matter anyways. Like, you really want to go and get any bit of information you can. So this one said, a while ago, you tweeted that you missed the way Greek life used to be. What did you mean by that? Basically what I mean is that when I like first wanted to join my organization, I just love like D9 on the campus in general, and just like when I would see other people's like organizations or D9s when I went to other schools, like people would go hard, like full hard, like stepping, strolling, everything like that. And not saying it's not, I mean the strolling is still there, but I feel like I don't know how to explain it, like the traditional stuff that used to go on when Greek life was like popping, like that's the stuff that made me want to join. So it's like now I feel like I don't see that anymore. People aren't willing to step, people aren't willing to do like certain things for an organization, you're not willing to do community service as much, and it's just like, why is that? And that's the stuff that made me want to join. So when I see people like putting more effort into one area of Greek life and not into the other, that kind of like upsets me. So sometimes people are always asking me like, why don't you attend this thing, or like, why aren't you going to that? I'm like, because that's not my main focus when it came to Greek life, you know? Do you feel that way when it comes to Greek life?
Sometimes, especially if like you hear an old head talking and they're like, oh, we used to do this. And
yes!
we had this popping. It's like, what?
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Sometimes it's regulations that we have to adhere to, but yeah, it used to be live.
Greek life used to be popular. It was to the point where I was like, oh, I gotta do that. Like, you know, and it's just like now, I don't know, it's just, I feel like people don't have as much integrity when it comes to like Greek life. Like there's people that like, this is what they live, breathe, and eat. And I feel like with some people who have joined now, it's not like that for them. It's just kind of like, I got my letters, I'm gonna enjoy. Like, I'll admit this, like joining Greek life in undergrad compared to grad is a big difference.
Yeah.
So you're gonna enjoy like the clout off of it, like you're gonna enjoy the parties and stuff, like that's fun, but it's like that's not the only thing Greek life is about. So, but oh my gosh, when y'all hear stories from old heads, y'all are going to wish y'all was like literally there living with them, because they have the best stories, and it's just so much fun listening to their stories. So, but if you ever have the opportunity, if you do join, you'll see what we're talking about. Okay, next question is the beef between Greeks real, or is it not that deep?
Well, I love her, and she's obviously not a part of my org. I mean, I feel like the beef, it depends on how you were brought in. Like if people, your pro-fights, who are the people who crossed before you, brought you in on that, don't mess with so-and-so because they're so-and-so, don't mess with,
like beef
then
up.
You're automatically gonna think, you're gonna have that
I gotta say flex 24/7, yeah.
But I mean, I think the beef is like old school drama. Like you shouldn't bring that into your org, and if you're interested, you shouldn't automatically think, well, I'm gonna have to beef with so and so or that org in general because of what I want to be.
Yeah, Greek life beef is real. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. Like it's a real thing. Like it's been people who done beefed up. It's been people who done fought. It's real, but like I feel like now you shouldn't even be worried about that. And honestly, like, cause I know me coming in, like, I feel like I have to be like, oh, let me be Miss Badass real quick. I thought I had to do all that, and then it's just like that stuff don't even matter. Like, really, it's like when you're joining, that stuff is fun when you're Neo, like doing all that bickering and talking about, oh, we gonna fight them if we see them. But realistically, this stuff is stupid. Like, it really is stupid. It's real, but like it's stupid because at the end of the day, like, a lot of people join D9 to network. You don't want to be beefed up with somebody. You don't want to be that person who fought somebody from another org years ago, and then you need a job, and they're the ones hiring. Like, that's gonna hurt you really bad. That's gonna hurt you really bad. The person that you fought is over you, and they're probably the person handing you your checks, the person over your employment. You don't want to do that. Like, it's stupid.
Keep us entertained, but it's really not necessary.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'll be entertaining it too, because it's so funny, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it's not that deep. Like, it really isn't. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, if you do become Greek, don't take things to heart. Like, you can't be sensitive, because it's gonna be somebody saying something about your org or what somebody did that you might personally take offense to, but you can't really take offense to it because it's not that deep.
Bro, one day the funniest thing that happened to me, like, me and my LS were out somewhere on campus, and so we had bumped into another member of a different organization. So they were like, oh, I see y'all got the wrong letters on. And it was like, whoa, like, sis, you tried it. Like, you really tried it. And it's that point where you gotta kind of be like, oh no, like, no, this is all me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put on for your own, because they're gonna put on for their own just as hard, so you gotta do it too. If you're sensitive, I would really say do not join Greek life, because you're gonna be trying to fight for everything. And then you can't fight Harpo, so just leave it alone, okay? Okay, so this is another one that I know a lot of y'all are very, very curious about. So, is it expensive joining a D9? You know what it feel like to save up for a card?
We were told Delta is a luxury. So if you want to join a D9 org, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but it's not a few dollars.
Yeah.
And once you join, you don't want like the shirts and the hats. And
yes, all the pairing.
So obviously that stuff is not necessary, but if you want to be in this organization, or I would say a D9 organization, you gotta have your money right.
You gotta have it right. I would literally say, if I could just give y'all the best hints in the world, the way you want to save up for a car is how you need to save up for D9, because it's so many expenses that will accumulate as you're joining, and it's not even just like because first of all, Perry, okay, once you start seeing stuff like
you like, I gotta have
you
that.
gotta have when you want the bucket hat. Look, when they start making scars for your organization, you gonna want it.
Oh, let me have that. Let me get that.
No, for real, like, you're really going to want to purchase those things, because it's like it looks that good, and you want to like really put on. But I mean, aside from all of that, like, there's like fees that you have to pay, so you want to make sure that you're financially stable, because you already know what's up. The worst thing to do is for you to think like, oh, I'm gonna have this amount of money just to join, but then afterwards you're stuck, like, because it's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on after you cross. So you want to make sure you're in line for that.
And like she said earlier, if you feel like you're not going to be able to afford it, you can still do community service events with the organization.
Yeah,
you're not going to turn somebody away that wants to help. So
of course not. It's community service. They gonna want as much help as possible, and that's good for you because you get community service hours. What is the difference between MPHC and then MP -HC? Because I feel like a lot of people get that confused. So you want to explain that one?
MPHC is traditionally African American orgs, and it's comprised of 9 orgs. Excuse me. Yeah, and so NPC is not.
Okay, so what are stereotypes of your org?
Stereotypes on my org would be that we are, loud and brash and like to fight. And I would say that I've met some of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life in Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But I've heard like people say we're the dark skin sorority, like against the AKAs, which I mean I am. So, but
but you that spine chocolate, melanated.
Appreciate you, girl. Yeah, it's just These stereotypes are just silly to me.
Yeah, some of the stereotypes are silly because a lot of people don't live up to it. Because I know when I first experienced deltas, I thought they were gonna be how like Lo was describing, and then I met Lo and I was like, oh, it's not even like it's not even like that at all. Mine is that we're ugly, overweight, we like to eat, but I'm not gonna lie, the last one is kind of true because I like to eat.
I like to eat too.
I like to eat, okay? So if anybody says, oh, Zeta Phi Beta members love to eat, that is true. We can't even deny it. Gosh, number one statement I hate hearing is, you're cute for a Zeta. That's annoying.
Like you're cute for a dark skin.
Yeah, that's like you're cute for dark skin. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm cute, period.
Yeah,
but
you are cute, girl.
girl, then I got these inches. But those stereotypes are like, it's so crazy. I mean, ugly, sis. Look,
Come on.
You see this. Since I'm part of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, our brothers are the Sigmas, and that's Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. When they refer to us, they'll say Dove Love. So that's, if you hear that, then they're talking about Sigmas and Zetas.
And we're not nationally connected to anybody, but you can see us a lot of times with the bros, aka the Qs, and that's Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and they call that
Coleman love. They're Coleman love.
Y'all, I love y'all. I know y'all saw that eye roll.
I know.
Somebody gonna text my phone like, oh, that's what's up.
So that's what's up. You didn't invite us to barbecue.
I'm doing love for the chicken.
Yeah, but that's who you would typically see like deltas with. So it'll be the Qs and then us. And like how Lo had mentioned, we're constitutionally bound. So. And then the AKAs are with the Alphas, Kappas with Sigma Gamma Rho, and they call that Indie Love. And then AKAs and Alphas, they call that Fam. So do's and don'ts. Woo!
Saying what org you want to be in on social media.
Big no-no.
That's a big no-no.
That's
basically
big.
Because, I mean, it's not that we're secretive, but we value discretion. So if you feel like you want to join something, make sure you say that to an org member, not your roommate, not your best friend, your homies. Like, make sure that that is kept between you and that org, because what if you don't make it?
It's embarrassing because it's some people who say like they want to be a part of this organization, but then you'll find out like semesters later they join something else.
Yeah.
And then it kind of makes you look bad because it's like you don't have your mind made up. And not to say people don't grow over time or change their mind, but you want to make sure you look stable and decisive with decisions you make. So remember when that one girl tweeted, "I want to be a Zelta."
Girl.
A Zelta.
I said, let me just log off today.
Bro, that was
Zelta is not a real thing.
Child, I said Zeltas. I said, baby, people getting creative out here. I said, that's creativity. And there's something else that we had mentioned earlier that would be a major don't. Flagging someone of an org down in public and talking loudly about it, that's a big, don't do that.
I mean, you might as well put it on social media.
Yeah, you might as well tweet it. You got 140 characters. Go ahead and say how you feel. A lot of people do this. Oh, can I talk to you real quick? Oh, you part of the Zeta Phi Beta, huh? Yeah.
That's how I look.
And it looks bad because with Greek life, it's a certain amount of discretion that you need to have with information. So you don't want to be that person who's known for being loud, who don't know how to keep their mouth shut, you know, because again, that's just part of it. It's not a secret society or anything. It's just like, it's something you're able to get into, but just don't be loud about it, you know?
And it makes it that much better when you're revealed. Like, people
Yes.
are like, oh my gosh. Like, feels good.
Yeah, it does feel good because people always be like, I would have never guessed, I would have never assumed. It's good when you keep it to yourself so people can be surprised.
Maintaining a reputation, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's
especially on
big
social
deal.
media, because I feel like you can retweet anything, you can say anything, and sometimes we kind of forget that people are watching you. And that's even with a job. Like, that's what somebody asked me, how should I present myself? And I'm like, okay, well, if you're on social media saying something, do you think you're going to get a job with what you just said?
Yeah.
So if you don't think you're going to get a job with what you just said, you're probably not going to get into my organization.
Exactly.
So make sure that you are professional, you're, I guess, well-groomed.
Yeah.
Make sure that you put out what you want the world to see and not something you want to delete next week because you're upset.
Even maintaining your reputation goes like past even being on social media. Some people do stuff on campus. Some people do stuff like, especially when it comes to parties, don't think people aren't watching. Snapchat is well and alive these days. There's even Snapchat groups. So as soon as you see that flash, you just need to run. For real, if you're at a party and this come on, you need to run, because that's probably you ruining your chance of joining an organization. And it's just because we want people who are going to be, you know, held in high standard. You don't want to be that person and then it's like, oh, they let her into their organization. We don't want that, because we hold high standards for our organization, so we don't want someone who's going to tank that in any way. Drinking and smoking in your letters. So say you do make it into joining any org in D9, drinking and smoking in your letters is probably like the best way for you not to,
To have letters in
like not to have letters. I kid you not. Like, if you do not want to be a part of D9 anymore, I promise you, the day you say I want to be out of this thing, just get some liquor or get some weed and smoke it. Just post it anywhere you want to, and you're done. I promise you, because it's something I've seen before, and it's just not a good look. Like, and that can honestly get your organization in trouble. And that chapter, you can actually get your chapter suspended because of that. So don't be that person being, you know, very risky with drinking for a good, like, for a good time. Like, if you feel the need to do that, like, don't be in your letters. And on top of that, like, it doesn't look good on the organization as well. Like, it's kind of like you're disrespecting your letters, because it's something like you work for. So why ruin it because you want to have a good time?
So keep a shirt in the trunk or something.
Yeah, keep it in the trunk. People always, switch it out. You know, bring out a dingy white shirt, like something. Just don't do it in your letters, because it's just you're disrespecting yourself at that point too. What does it mean if an org says do your research?
I think do your research means just that. Make sure that you're not looking at one organization because your mom was in it, or you are looking at it because you think so-and-so looks cute in her letters and I think I'd be cute too. Or they're the best strollers on campus, so I want to be in that. I mean, like, you need to make sure that what you're doing is for other reasons, like you want to do community service or you want to improve another person's life. You know what I mean? So make sure that you look at each org in its entirety. Make sure that not only you're looking at what they're doing on campus, but nationally, what are they doing? Do their ideals fit mine? And if you don't know, then I guess it's time for you to sit back and let it go another semester. Let me make sure I have my mind set up before I actually make this decision, because this is a lifetime commitment.
It's like when you go for an interview, you should know a little bit about that company, so that way when they ask you, you're not looking like, I just found y'all on Indeed.com. You don't want to be that person. I need the job, so I need the job. You know I'm broke.
I got bills.
Like, you don't want to be that person, because it's just not a good look. So just make sure when people say do your research, literally each organization has a website where you can go to look up, you know, the best bit of information that everybody has. Don't go up to anybody looking stupid, because we're gonna talk about you. I ain't gonna lie, we are gonna talk about you. You might be in the group message. Oh, girl, she came up to you talking about what? Look at her hat. No, I'm like, okay, no, but for real, just when doing your research, just like what Lo said and what I'm saying, like, you want to make sure you're thorough with everything that you're saying and doing.
I mean, you don't have to have like the history to spit at, because ain't nobody gonna be like, okay,
ain't nobody gonna be like, spit your information.
Let me hear that. Let me hear you. So I mean, if anything, we're trying to make sure that we have a quick conversation, so that it's not like, oh, they be in the corner talking for a minute. I know what they talking about. So just like, if you have questions, make sure that you already have them set up in your mind. Like, okay, how do I, you know, join your organization? What's the best thing to do? Like, make sure you have those questions already planned out, so that you're not sitting there like, I like y'all.
I like what you do. I like how you stroll, sis. You don't want to be that person. Okay, and then the last one is Greek slang. So we're gonna give you guys little you know, vocab for the night.
Neos are people who've recently crossed, and a lot of organizations, I guess, refer to Neos as if you don't have a line that crossed after you, you're still a Neo.
And then prophytes. So prophytes are people who cross before you, and those are the people who bring you in. So say they crossed 2012 and they're bringing in a group of girls for 2014, those are prophytes. LSs and LBs.
LS stands for line sister, LB stands for line brother.
A line is just a group of people who literally cross in within the same semester. So I have a line, and it's 3 of us, and then Lo also has a line of sisters as well. So you're gonna be, when people refer to line, don't think of it as like that organization. It's literally spring 16, fall 16, fall 13, fall 14. Those are lines. T-shirt wearer.
Okay, a t-shirt wearer is somebody who basically gets in the organization, loves to go around campus basically showing off that they're in that organization, but they don't do any work behind the scenes, like community service, people who don't put in for the program, who don't like to do the setup, who don't like to take down the stuff when the event is over. I mean, like, people who just don't do the work once they're already in the organization. So I mean, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. That's my biggest
because
peeve. You got people who, I mean, if you wanted to be in this organization, be in it 100%. Don't come in thinking you're going to stroll and that's it, or you're gonna wear a shirt and that's it. There's so much more to being Greek.
Yeah, like, people know who show up for parties and who show up for community service. So, GDI. So GDI basically means goddamn independent. That's all it is. Like, you're pretty much someone who's not in any organization under Greek life. So if you ever hear the term GDI, that's all it is. Don't take an offense. Some people get offended by that, but you know.
So we say non-Greek.
Yeah.
That sounds funny.
It's not, you're not Greek. Like, you're just not part of anything. Like, you're literally independent. You're Webby himself. So basically, like how we touched on before, like undergrad and grad. So if you do not get into Greek life in undergrad, you can always go graduate. But the thing is with that, people do not want to go graduate all the time because they want to enjoy Greek life in undergrad. And I feel like that's why some people don't join, because it's like they already kind of got that full experience. So it's like, why join afterwards?
But my thing is, if you really feel passionate about being in that organization, you would join whether or not you were graduate or undergraduate. So if you really feel like that's something that you want to do, then don't let being a graduate stop you. But if you really feel like that's something you want to do, in the same note, try to do it undergraduate, because grad does not always have lines.
Yeah.
So I gotta say this. The views expressed here are my own and not that of the Sorority Incorporated.
Yes. Oh, and another thing we forgot to say, so we're gonna do our hand signs as well, because that's another don't.
Yeah,
This is something else. Do not ever throw, if you're not part of any Greek life, don't ever throw up another sign. Don't ever do our calls. That's disrespectful as well. Yeah, that'll. You can do your call too. And then ours is and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know you guys have been wanting this. I hope this is a very good back to school video for you guys. Good luck in joining your said organization. I wish you guys the best of luck. And don't forget, even though you are joining Greek life, education comes
You're
first.
there to graduate, so do that.
Yeah. I wish you guys the best of luck. Blessings, y'all. Pray. Stay hydrated. What they say on Twitter, drink water. Keep my energy positive.
Sick of it.
Keep God first. Stay blessed in your studies. And thank you guys for watching. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, I will leave Lo's information down below. You already know mine, so just hit us up, okay? Bye.
Bye.